Hey guys, welcome to a live stream. Unplanned, not really scripted. I have no idea if you can hear the music in the background. Some of you may have noticed that I got the notification that I did a live stream with Eric Carroll on the Dad Talk Today network. Just finished that up. Thought I would not leave you guys hanging and come over here and on the normal channel and see how things are going. So if you can hear and see me, give me a thumbs up so I know everything's working out okay. I'm just really doing this quick, so I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what all is going on with everything. Hopefully the music is okay. I see that we got people here. Hi all. Okay, everything's good. All right. Let me move this out of the way. Oh yeah, you know what? I've noticed one thing that with the way if I have my system audio set up right, every time you guys send something, the blunk goes into the live stream. So I need to figure that part out. It looks like I'm not doing that right now, so I think I'm okay. Oh, Johnny Rose says the Dad Talk Today stream was pretty good. So who out there saw that? If you guys can give me a thumbs up on that, I'd appreciate it. If you were on the Dad Talk Today show, there was a conversation. I think one of you guys brought up. Might be. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what he calls himself on this channel. Anyways, I digress. Brought up the whole booping thing, and one of the things I brought up is if you guys noticed. Let me see if I can pull this up. I gotta figure out if I can do this. Let me go to the channel. Nope, not there. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I'm going to try to pull something up and see if I can show this to you. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to move this over here, bring it over there, and then I'm going to try to go, let's see what this does. Hey, it kind of works. Okay, so if you go, bear with me on this. If you go to the channel and you go to the join button for the memberships, if you join, you get a little a finger boop that I made for your membership level, not level, but the time you've been a member. Like, so green would be, a new member, which we have one. We have one person, I think, who's in the yellow, which is after a month. And then orange is 6 months. And I can't remember what, maybe that's 2 months, whatever. I know black is a year. And you get these cool emojis, so you can do the boop emoji. When I ask you how things are going, if it's playing, you could say good. And then if I do a question, yes or no, you could answer with those little things. So that's something to play around with. Anyways, man, I hope you guys are doing okay. It's been a really weird start of the year. I have a lot of different things. If you guys are subscribed to the mailing list, and you saw that, if you're interested in that, if you go to let's see, dadssurvivingdivorce.com, right here. If it loads, there you go. It'll pop up. You can sign up for the newsletter right there. So I sent out an email earlier today with the notification of the show I was doing on Dad Talk Today. And do I get a 4-year chip? Wow, that's pretty hilarious. It only actually lets me go up to 2 years, and I didn't create one. So maybe if that all works out, maybe there's I'll have to make a gold one or something like that for the oldest member. I don't necessarily have a topic today. The main thing I was just going to talk about is just come in and talk a little bit about the interview I did with Dad Talk Today. Eric announced that I'm going to be hosting a weekly show over there starting in a couple of weeks. We're working to get the details on that. I got to figure out logistically what would be a good time for that, and how to basically but how to do everything in there. Oh wait, hold on. Now I need to I need to pull the chat out so I can check some things. There we go. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I can do it this way. I'm going to do this real quick. So, not a great thing, but you can see it. But this is kind of what I'm talking about, where if a member, like James is a member of the thing, you'll actually see the new member thing, which you guys should see that, I think. I'm just going to pop out this chat so that I can see. Pop out chat so I can just have this over. Like I said, I did this really quick. I hadn't really planned. I mean, I was kind of just going from work to do that other show and then trying to figure everything out. Here, let me shrink this back down. So let's see. I'm going to look at some of the comments. I'm just checking to see what we got here. We got a few people out here tonight, so that is awesome. 25 people joining us tonight. Thank you. So, hey, you know what? I know I haven't been posting a lot lately. That's what I was going to get at is that, you know, it's really weird. I mean, last year started out really tough. I got kind of slammed right off the bat with the housing thing. And, I mean, it ultimately worked out, but that kind of sent my whole 2019 into a tailspin. Honestly, so far, 2020 has been okay. There's been a few little potential bombs, but the one that I was really worried about seems to have rectified itself earlier today. So that is promising. I'll probably wait another month before I talk in more detail about that. But oh wow, Scott says, hold on, let me pop this up. Oh wow, that's like way too big. Let me see if I can figure out how to shrink that down. Oh, that does not work at all. So I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, maybe this is what I got to do. Is it that? Okay. Says, Dwayne, any chance you'll create a Twitch channel so that those of us with Amazon Prime can join and support with our Prime membership? You know, actually, I think I have a Twitch channel. I just don't use it that much. I did multicast to it a couple of times. So, hey, Scott, if you can, send me an email a little bit more with what you're talking about so I can look into that. Just Dwayne@dadsurvivingdivorce.com. I'd like to, that's an interesting idea. I wasn't not that familiar with the Twitch Amazon Prime thing, but that's an interesting option. So, thanks for that. All right. Hey, new member, Divorce Papa. Thank you very much. I wonder if it shows that. Oh, I can do it this way. Thank you, Divorce Papa. I really appreciate that. And thank you for joining on the other thing and bringing up the boop thing. I didn't realize that was you. So that was pretty funny. I was asked to explain because some people that are Divorce Papa had brought up because I said boop at one point, and Eric was like, what's up with this boop thing? So I had to give a little history of the boop, which was pretty funny. Mr. Man says, great job on Dad Talk. Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I really like what Eric's doing over there. And, you know, he's wanting to help the channel grow. I can help them with a lot of the technical stuff. So I'm hoping to be able to provide them some assistance there. So definitely looking forward to that. Question about dealing with loneliness. Man, that's a good. Jesus, I should do a whole nother show just on that. I mean, the short answer on that is it's tough, but it's key to find a way to deal with that because it kind of. I mean, it changes everything. But I know for the longest time I was freaking out about that, about being alone. I didn't like it. I didn't like the quiet. I didn't like going out and, doing stuff by myself. It freaked me out. So I think I need to devote a specific thing to that. I haven't done that in a while, but Lyle, I will do that. All right. Let me just scrolling around here. Oh no. So Jeffrey says, who's this hairy guy? I love that. That's funny. I'm thinking you haven't been on in a while. Last year, whoops, did I lose a light? Oh no, it's not that. I'm trying to shrink this to make it work better. Last year I started growing a beard and just let it go, and I actually kind of liked it. So that was pretty cool. Here, let me switch this. Mr. Man, solution-based content. I love it. Let me scroll back down here a little bit. I got to move this over so I can see everything. So hey, so what do you got? I know a couple people are commenting on it. So what do you guys think about this whole Dad Talk Today thing? You guys excited about it? Oh, my blue light died. I had a little blue light and the battery finally, maybe it'll run a little bit. Yeah, he sold, I did get rid of the blue couch. That's pretty funny. Oh yeah, my battery's dead. My battery's dead on my blue light, but not on that blue light. Anyways, I digress. I'm just being silly. What a weird thing with just how things are going. I had a conference call earlier today with a kind of a production type person. That was kind of interesting. So let's see. Kit Kat says, yes, the loneliness. I kept myself so busy these past 2 years, healing, doing great. But no matter what I do, there's still no filling that void. I think part of that is really focusing on finding your peace with that. I do have a bunch of videos that I used to make or that I made about that in the past, but I get what you're saying, what you guys are saying on that. And it's really tough. I'm going to have to really think about that one, about how I got through that. Cause I was having the same problem. Dwayne After Dark. Yeah, it's a little dark. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. There's a little backlight, provide a little separation. So hopefully that'll help. It's fun. Divorce Papa saying, instead of turning on the red light, Roxanne, we just have to turn the blue light with Dwayne. That's pretty funny. Yeah, that one light's running off a battery, so it was running for a little over an hour, and that's about all it'll do. This one I have actually is plugged in, so it's a little smaller. Yeah, see, a lot of you guys are talking about the loneliness thing. All right, guys, I will definitely focus on that. I'll make a video specifically on that. Or what I'll do is I'll actually pre-plan it to have some better discussion points for a live stream. Dark side versus light side. That's pretty funny. Kit Kat says it's a little tricky not being jealous, knowing that he has someone to spend time with, even though I know she's being tortured. Yeah, and see, okay, so part of that, a big key on that is, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me do it this way. See if oh crap, don't hit that button. Let me move this over here. Let me see if I can pull this way. Oh, no, I hit the wrong button. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do, nope. What did I do? If you go down to the mindset for narcissist, oh, that's too small. Mindset for narcissist. Oh, that is like totally messed up. That is not working at all. All right, give me 1 second here. Let me do Chrome and pick that. There we go. Now we can see it. Damn technology. Having habits, wreaking havoc. This black hole thinking, I know it's an old video. You can tell because I don't have a beard. It's important to force yourself to stop thinking about everything that the ex is getting away with, what they're doing, how their life is. And that's what that video, black hole thinking, is about. It's a really important topic because I did the same thing. I mean, mine wasn't actually necessarily, that I knew of dating, but he was going out and doing other things, and I was way fixated and focused on what was happening, what she was doing that I wasn't able to do, that she was having fun, and I was, living in misery, and it just tortures you. You got to realize that focusing on rebuilding your foundation. I mean, I hope that analogy works. I mean, it's like with a building, you have to kind of rebuild from the ground up. And part of that is toxifying yourself from what the ex is doing, what's going on, and pivoting that energy to focus on your life, focus on what you want to do, focus on your healing. I know that sounds I mean, it's a platitude, right? But what I'm telling you, what you guys are saying, I was there. I was feeling the exact same thing. I was feeling the loneliness. I was feeling the stress. I was feeling the desperation. I was looking at my situation compared to what the ex was doing and comparing lives. And it was doing nothing for me. Cindy says, DSD, lonely or alone? Something to think about. The ex-narc will always out trying to fill his ego, glorifying himself at work, which gave me the time and space to be more independent as a woman and a mom. See, and that's kind of a really great point, because there's a part of it being lonely and being alone. And I actually am at a place now where I'm okay being alone. I mean, I do get lonely, right? But I like my alone time. Whereas before it was like suffocating. I don't know if that makes sense. You guys will have to let me know. So. I like what Kit Kat says. To Old Johnny Road, I agree. I'm not sure what Old Johnny Road had said, but so many factors to consider. Disturbing the peace and calm that has finally been created makes me hesitate. Drama doesn't seem worth it. That is so key right there. You get to the point that, and we were talking about that in that live stream I did with James the Reviver. Can I see that on the page? Yeah, it's this one right here. If you haven't seen it, check it out. When to Fight Back. It's actually a live I did with James where we talked about that, about, when you're making a decision on what your next course of action is like really look at the bigger picture and what is the cost. And adding drama into your life, oftentimes, it's not worth the cost, to say the least. Cindy says, as a previous codependent all my life, I had to figure out how to break out as best as I could. Yeah, I hear you. And that's key. And the crazy part is, or the reality is whenever you do that, the real benefit to that is you're not trapped by somebody anymore. You're not in a space or in a mental space where you'll put up with somebody pushing your boundaries or disrespecting you or adding that drama and chaos into your life, because you're not codependent anymore. You've healed those wounds to the point to where you can say, you know what, I'm not so desperate for validation from another person that I'm going to put up with this behavior as a result. So, let's see. I am not going to be able to stay on too long because I already did that other show. But if there's some key things we want to hit, I'll definitely go over that. I'm just scrolling through the comments right now. Oh my God, Josh. Hey, buddy. I did answer you on through Facebook. Hopefully you saw that. But Josh says, Josh Pins, if you guys don't know, he has a channel. He's kind of taken a bit of a break from it, but he used to produce a lot of content. Says, you realize that you were never trapped to begin with. It was all in your head. And it's crazy, but that is a simple truth. What Josh is saying right there. We get into this mode where we give these people so much power that it's like you're in a prison cell and the door is unlocked. You can walk out at any time, but you're conditioned that you can't, so you don't. And typically it's not until something catastrophic happens that you finally open the door and walk out. So, and unfortunately, it's not quite that easy, right? You open the door and walk out and you feel like you're walking into a fire, but that's the first step. The first step of taking your life back and minimizing the damage. Well, not minimizing, I guess basically just realizing that we all have much more power than we really think. Oh, I don't remember that one. Old Johnny Road says, I did like Josh's video that you had posted, though I haven't watched it in a couple of years. Yeah, I don't remember the link on that. If you send it and if I can post it, I'll put it in the thing, Old Johnny Road. Excuse me. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. I appreciate the new channel members. That's pretty awesome. So thank you guys for that. I hadn't noticed, or I noticed that, I have a couple more than I realized. I didn't realize, I mean. So thank you so much for that. Let's see. I can't say that name. Hepatha Lennon says, I wish I'd realized that before you destroyed me. I wish that I could get, I wish that I could get to people early. Even before the relationship blows up, if just to get them that information to where they understand what's coming, they understand what's happening, and, give people the tools to ride out that storm. Oh, Lyle says, would you say we go through a period of self-punishment? Oh, absolutely. Yes, Lyle. I mean, I did that for a couple of years. It was like a self-fulfilling defeatist prophecy. And I think a lot of times it's like we are so beat down that we don't think we deserve any better. And we get so used to that trauma and the emotional abuse that to not have it in your life feels weird. And there are people, that you'll sabotage things that are good for you. I'm not saying you did this, but I know I've done this. Because you don't think you deserve any better. So, let's see here. I see some messages. Sometimes, depending on what you say, YouTube will censor messages. So if they're not posting, that's part of it. Josh says self-punishment was there from childhood. Yep, I would definitely agree with you on that one. I wonder if that's big enough to see. I wonder if I need to make that bigger. I'm like having problems here. I did that earlier. Then now I can't figure out how to make this thing bigger. Oh, maybe that's how. I don't know. I'm having problems. Dang it. Anyways, whatever. I know you guys hate it when I do that, when I'm trying to fix a problem or figure something out live. I got to stop that. Oh, wow. Okay, so Matt says, question, Dwayne. This week, my wife cursed at me and hit me on the arm. I usually text myself these events. I texted her by accident. Then she sends me a screenshot of her sending a text to her lawyer with a made-up story about me being in her space and her tripping and catching me with her arm. That was that part of it. And then he goes on to say, I told my lawyer and I had to file a domestic harassment incident report. Yeah, you probably needed to. Man, we got to be really careful on that. And if you, I don't recommend texting your ex because of that. It's so easy. I had that happen when I used to send text to it. It's so easy to accidentally respond to the wrong thing. I've had that happen where it's weird sometimes on an iPhone. I've had it to where it'll pop up and I'll see a message and I'll go into text and I'll answer, but I'm actually in a different message and it gets confused. Be really careful and cautious what you do because you don't want to tip your hand and you don't need to add extra problems like that. So. Sai says, I like this. Sai says, we need to change from survivor to a journey instead. Yeah, or thriver, something different. Survive, I there's so many things that I probably should have changed on the show thing before, but it's just tough. Let's see here. Gary says, I've been discarded and yet I miss her so much. It's horrible. And Gary, that is so very common. dealing with some people right now who are going through that, who it's like it's so apparent to everyone around them the nightmare that they're in, but they are so hurt, and missing that relationship that they're not seeing things clearly. That's normal, but you obviously need to work through that. If you have a therapist, I would do that. If you need coaching, go to my website, you can sign up for coaching and I can help you with that. But it's a very common thing to go through. It's important to say that because a lot of people, will say, why can't you just get over? Why can't you see it? It's hard, right? It's part of that trauma bond. It's part of that, you're still emotionally connected and you don't want to believe what's going and you still miss the illusion. And it hurts and it sucks and it's horrible, like you said, Gary. Let's see. All right. Scott says, Gary, when you gain a tiny bit of distance, you'll be able to recognize that there was no relationship. Yeah, and on that, the other thing I'll say on that, let me see if I can, how can I do this to where it actually looks right and doesn't mess up? Can I pull this up? Is this right? Okay. If you scroll back down to what I was just talking about before, that mindset for narcissistic abuse recovery, which I need to redo that and change that, and I'm going to be working on that soon. Not recently. I'll be working on that soon. Gary, go through this video. That maybe the hyper no contact doesn't count, but the absolute thinking, black hole thinking, and love with the illusion, a lot of these videos are specifically talking about that stage that you're in, Gary. Review that playlist, and it should be really helpful for you, and it'll reinforce some of those things that you're struggling with right now. I love this. Lyle says, I heard a song with lyrics, quote, "Remember how much I loved you? That's how much I hate you." Isn't it weird? It's really sad that that's what happens, right? We go through this scenario where we had somebody we loved, we would do anything for, and you really get to the point that you just hate them. Matt continues to ask, it says, Dwayne, narc wife pretty much knows she's being recorded and still screws up. Do narcs typically have a hard time holding it together? She alienates on tape, curses me on tape, etc. Yeah, because yes, they have a hard time holding it together because a lot of what they're doing is an illusion. You would think a normal person would be able to realize that that's what's happening, and they will police themselves, so to speak. But it's really, really tough for a narcissist to not revert to their natural state. That's why I say, that's why it's really important. And I've made videos before about, fighting the smear campaign. You got to be really careful because you're engaging with them as an environment that they're comfortable in. But if you're able to stop and you allow them to basically implode on themselves, oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes they will expose themselves. They will make those mistakes like you're talking about and, fix your own story. Here, this is driving me crazy. I'm going to add a little bit more light on me. There we go. I can't even say that name. I wonder if I can, I need to do that over here. Hold on. Gosh darn it. Speech. Hypatia. Lennon says, is karma going to get them? I need to believe it. My opinion, absolutely yes. Here's the caveat. Is that karma going to manifest itself in the way that you expect it to be? Probably not. We want to see them get, exposed, run up on the flagpole, whatever. But yeah, here's the thing. They draw negative energy and stuff to them. They can't escape it. They live in drama and they live in chaos. They might be able to, have new people in their lives and have a new car, have, all these different things. But fundamentally, they're damaged to the point that all of it doesn't mean anything to them and they're going to destroy it. Again, A lot of times it doesn't manifest itself in the way that you would like to see it. Like in my situation, I mean, I would have much preferred the ex to get exposed, to really have a firm consequence with this. She's basically been skipping along for 8 years, without a hitch. But the reality is, I would not want to be her. I don't want her life. I don't, all she brings around her is chaos and drama. She's reaping her own karma. It's not in the way that I would like. I mean, it's not the way I would see it, but it's, yes, they do. I don't know if that answers your question or if that helps, but that's the reality of it. Oh, I like what Josh says, and this is very spot on. Josh says, their karma is the older they get, the more people will figure them out. It's true. And oftentimes that includes the kids. It includes, everything that they here's the thing. Everything a narcissist touch turns to crap. Now, they can fool people for a long time, and they can get new people to come in and take care of them. But think about it. They don't have a genuine relationships and lives. It's all freaking chaos and stupidness, right? It's not genuine. Excuse me. I'm trying to just look through some of the comments. Divorced Papa. How do you drown a narc? Put a mirror at the bottom of the swimming pool. I think I've heard that one before. That's pretty funny. Very nice. That's funny. Matt had said, Dwayne, to the group, does the narc in your lives have trouble sleeping in the sense that they use sleeping pills, NyQuil, PM medications, etc.? Do they have trouble sleeping with themselves? I don't know. That's a tough one. I can't really, I don't know. In the last 8 years, I have no idea what she's doing. Josh says, my narc always slept peacefully through the night. I think that's kind of, God, it's been so long. It's hard to say. But I think the problem with that, though, is, Matt, with that question, is you get into this mode, not you, but everybody, all of us have been through this, where you get into this mode to where you're looking for consequences or something, right? You want something tangible, like, yeah, they can't sleep, or everything breaks, or, whatever. And the problem with it is, fundamentally the problem is you're asking the question about them. I think a better question would be like, how are we sleeping after getting out of it? To be perfectly honest, I have trouble sleeping. I always have, I don't sleep well. But the thing is that we have to get to a point that we're not continually focused on them, their lives, what they're doing, how they're getting away with things, what's happening in their life, and switching that energy around to building our life. Like, what are we instead? And that's okay. And that goes back to that. Let me see if I can pull it back up. That goes back to that black hole thinking. Let me get back over here. This video right here. Can I make it? Holy crap. I look horrible in that. Jeez. I don't look happy either. I'm a happy guy. Anyways, I digress. The thing is that, we spend so much time focused and fixated on them. You have to pivot that energy to rebuilding your life. And I've gotten to the point now where, and we were talking about this again with that live stream I did with James the other day, to where now I look at things and it's like, okay, how do I minimize the impact that the ex has on my life to drag me down, to drag down my thought process? And how can I take that same energy that I used to spend just spiraling out of control, building my better life? And that's really the key. And it's a hard pivot to do. It's not an easy thing to do because we're so hurt and still stuck and connected to our exes. But it's one of those things where that has to be, if I guess my message is, or my point is to try to get to instill that idea, like, hey, when I'm thinking about the ex, if I'm sitting here wondering, like that question Matt had about, I wonder how they sleep. It's like instead of them occupying any part of your mind, it's like, what else could you be thinking about besides that? And that was hard for me. That was really hard for me to do. I mean, that's where the catalyst for that absolute thinking video and the black hole video came from, because I was spending every moment like, why did she do what she did? Why is it happen that way? Why did it turn out this way? What's her effect? I mean, does she think about me? Does she think about what the consequences? I even find now there are times where I'll be like, wow, I wonder if she thinks that it was a mistake. And it's like, I mean, it's wasted energy. Why would I want to occupy any part of my mind wondering what's going on with her? Because it's irrelevant. Not going to change anything. And it's energy that doesn't serve us. It doesn't help us get to where we need to go. Do you guys agree with that? For the members of the channel who've joined the channel membership, you can do that special little thing to where the emoji would be yes or no. I would love to see if you could do that. But realistically, for everybody else, do you agree with that? Do you yes or no? Matt says, you're right, brother. Yeah, thank you. Yes. Acceptance. Jack says, acceptance was and is the hardest part of the grief process and my healing. It is. And it's really tough. And the really crazy part is once you get through it, you will probably, Jax, let me ask you this, you'll probably wonder why it took you so long to do. Why was it so hard? So there it is. I see the yes. The big thank you, Divorce Papa. I appreciate that. That's cool to see those working. Unfortunately, in my relay thing, it doesn't show that, but that's cool. Let's see. John, whoops, did I click that in time? John says, Dwayne, I stopped talking to my ex. We don't talk at all. She texts me and I don't respond. She ruined my life and I became disabled because of her. That's tough, man. And that's it's tough to not have that break you. And I think from past conversations with you, you're doing pretty good on that, considering. I won't post that one. That was pretty funny, though, what Lyle said. TMC says, great advice. Get them out of your brain. Live your own life. I know everybody has heard that. The best revenge on a narcissist is to live a good life. And the thing is that there's a period of time where the fact that it's like, yeah, if I can do that, that's my revenge getting back with them. But the reality, the underlying tone, the real answer to that is you get to the point that you say, you know what? I'm not going to let them be in my mind anymore. They don't get to occupy my mind. They don't get to occupy my heart. I'm letting it go. They have no power over me. They have no say over me. And I am going to go live the best damn life I can possibly live in the aftermath of this situation. Oh, thanks, John. John says, great content. I'll post it. Great content and support to others. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate that. So, let's see. Whoa, what happened there? Okay. Oh, this is good. Kit Kat says, DSD, yes, all those cliches sound like BS until you finally understand it and do it. I agree. I mean, there were all this stuff, these cliches that now it's really weird because what happens is all this stuff sounds like BS before. And then when you grow past all this, you're like, oh my God, that's what that means. I get it now. Lovely, Love Yaya says, every once in a while they pop into your brain though. And if it happens, it makes me physically, I'm assuming you're going to say ill. And I hear you. And the best part for that was two things. Okay. Was the absolute thinking video, that whole concept, because what you do on that, let me see if I can make this a little bit different. Oh, it's not working for me. is it you get to the point to where whenever you're thinking those things that Love Yaya was talking about, when they pop into your head, you're able to go, it's not real. They're a narcissist, or maybe you're saying no, they're NPD or BPD, and you make that your reality. And if that didn't work, what I ultimately had to do, let me see if I can pull this up. If you go over to my channel, to the dadsurvivingdivorce.com channel, under the resources tab, if it loads, because it never likes to load whenever I do it, what I had to do to really break free from that were these hypnosis files right here. Mend your broken heart, letting it go, unrequited love. That was I would listen to those multiple times a day to drill it in, and I was doing that coupled with that absolute thinking, and it was tough. I mean, I was doing all of that, and for a month, I would, it was a struggle. But I'll tell you, see, now what happens is if I have those fleeting thoughts, and I do, I mean, like what Love Yaya was saying, I still every once in a while, I'll have a bad day, and it'll pop up into my head, like, what if or whatever. And it's like, but now it's instantaneous. And I'm like, it wasn't real. It was fake. It was all manipulation. I'm better off with what it is. My life is so much better now. I don't live in constant chaos. I see the chaos that she's still living in. And it's not part of my life. It's really key. Love Yaya says, I remember watching this channel when I was going through it, and it helped me a lot. Well, thank you. I'm glad it did. But now I'm several months beyond it, and I still have questions. And Love Yaya, that's really common. Don't beat yourself up on this. This takes a long time. I was stuck in that churn for like 3 years. I mean, I was going to therapy once a week. I mean, I was reading everything I could. I started doing those hypnosis files I was just talking about, all that stuff together. And I'll tell you that when I was going through that and still having those questions, I'm like, why am I still feeling this way? I mean, it shouldn't be. It's like you're sick and you're going through and you're getting the toxins out of your system. So I know it sucks, to be like several months on of it. You're like, oh my God, it's several months. I should feel so much better. But keep in mind, look at where you were before, right? I mean, you've more than likely you've come a long way. Old Johnny Rose says the DSD Discord for ongoing support. Yeah, that's a good idea too. I should have mentioned that. What I will do, let me do this. Okay. So if you go back, you can do it two different ways. You can, is it that one? If you go to the main channel up here at the top, there's this little weird icon. That's the Discord invite link. And if you don't see that, you can also go to the Dad Surviving Divorce website, dadsurvivingdivorce.com. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the Discord showing the people that are on, and you can connect through that as well. So if you do decide to join that, just make sure that once you go in, you connect. Once you get in the Discord, you are not in any of the private groups. You just need to send me a direct message, a DM. In the first message, it even has my thing. Right click on that, send me a message, say, hey Dwayne, I am Bill with username Bill5000 on YouTube. Let me in, and I'll let you in. If you don't connect with me, I don't let people in. Because I want to try to make sure that I don't let people who shouldn't be in there get in. Let's see here. I'm looking around. Oh, this is a good one. TMC says, or Tim says, for a few months after the divorce, I almost called to get permission to spend my own money. I can remember similar stuff. It took me about 3 years to get the narc out of my head. Now I parallel parent. And I think that's really, that's very common too, right? We get caught up in these patterns, these old patterns where we think that we have to do things in a certain way. I mean, when I moved into this house, and honestly, if the ex wouldn't have went, boop, poked me right in the eye, I probably wouldn't have gotten this house, because when I was looking at this house, it's a 4-bedroom, it was a mile away from our old house. So it had one more room than our other place. The rent was cheap. And I'm like, oh man, she's going to be mad. I shouldn't do this. And I wasn't going to live here, even though I'm like, man, I really like this house. I'd really like to live here. Because I'm like, I was worried about it making her mad. Fortunately, she did something where she just took her bony little finger and just stuck it in my eye and freaking twisted. Boop. And I'm like, oh, F that. And I'm like, okay, I'm moving there. And, but I think, like what Tim was talking about, it's really common. We get caught up. I mean, these relationships aren't healthy. They're emotional abuse 99% of the time, if not more. And as a result of that, there's all the trauma that's associated with it. That's why, if you guys remember the interview that I did with, not the interview, the collaboration that I did with, where is it? Where do I find it at? Darn the luck. I did it with Chris Godinez. And where is it? I'm trying to find it so I can show it to you guys. Oh, I guess I have made more videos than I thought. I thought I hadn't made a bunch. Oh, crap. I just accidentally played one. Anyways, oh, here it is. Right here. This one. I need to talk to Chris Godinez, full discussion. We talked about in that video how important a trauma therapist is to help you through this, because it is trauma. This is a traumatic situation. I mean, I'm not blowing, I'm not making it up. I'm not exaggerating it. And as a result of it, using the modalities of dealing with trauma actually are helpful. So finding a therapist that's well-versed in trauma therapy is really important. So... Lyle says, or not Lyle, Divorce Papa says to Lyle, I should make the boop my default new mail notification. Oh my God. That'd be hilarious. You guys are hilarious. You guys make me laugh. Maybe I need a shirt with a big boop on it, like what I'm assuming that you guys can see in the chat, like where Divorce Papa, when he does the boop, the little red with the yellow boop with the hand. That would be funny on a shirt or something. Maybe I should do that. Kitty Whiskers is saying, love Chris, you got to go on the cruise. I would love to. And actually it's just money. It's the problem is funding, and I don't think I can afford to do it. I could get the time off of work. I don't think I could afford the cost. So, I don't, I have to talk back with, cause in case you guys know or didn't know, Chris had asked me to, on her next cruise to, if I wanted to come and speak at part of it, or, be a part of it. The only problem is I would have to get myself there, and I don't know. Maybe if I showed, like Lyle saying, yes, we want shirts and mugs. Maybe if I could do enough shirts and mugs, I'd be able to go. I appreciate the support of you guys saying that. I would like to do that. And I think Chris is great. She's phenomenal. Or you guys can support the channel by becoming members. Hit the join button in the link down below, and you could choose a different tier level to show your support to the DSD channel. I just did that off the cuff. Did I do okay? Was that commercial enough? Oh, yeah. I'm saying your name wrong. I'll call it Lennon. Lennon says, I wish I knew you guys in person, because the fact that people that didn't experience hell on earth don't really understand and tell you things like you'll meet someone someday makes me feel lost. Yeah, it makes you feel like something's wrong with you, because everyone else seems to be able to heal and doesn't have a problem. Why do I have a problem? People don't understand it. It's really tough. That's why it's good that there's, communities like this, to where you find other people who are going through the similar thing and can talk about a story, and you're like, holy crap, that's exactly what I'm going through. Love Yaya says, cruise, what are you talking about? Does anyone have a link for that? I wonder if I can pull that up. Chris Godinez. Oh, I did it wrong. Yes. Cruise. Let's see if I can pull it up. Is it March? January, February, March? I love autocorrect. Chris, Kitty Whiskers, I can't help it. You said Chris has one on her boyfriend. I didn't think she had a boyfriend. I thought she had a husband. Facebook. That's hilarious. Chris Godinez. Let me see if I can find this. I'm not sure. Carnival Cruise. Anyways, if Chris Godinez is the host of We Need to Talk with Chris Godinez. She's a licensed therapist in Arizona, and she does these events where she does cruises, right? Where people can get together and you go on a cruise, and she holds like basically workshops on the cruise. So that's what we're talking about with that. So she had one recently. I don't remember when it was. And then she had reached out to me after we did the collaboration, and she was like, hey, you should, would you be interested in going? I'd love to have you go. But that was the thing is just the cost. And I wish I was doing so much better, but financially not so much. So I'll have to look at it. Part of it I was waiting to deal with my taxes. And then the next part is, just checking how much it's going to cost. So let me ask you on this. I mean, who would actually be interested in doing a cruise? So, wow, I'm only going on a cruise if I bring my ex. That's hilarious. So, you guys are bad. Oh, man. See, I know technically I've only been live for almost an hour, but you guys got to remember I was also live for an hour on Dad Talk Today, and then there was a pre-discussion that Eric and I did before we went live talking about some stuff, plus after it. So I've basically been sitting here for almost 3 hours. So I'm probably going to have to wrap it up here shortly. So, hey, what do you guys think? Hey, just as a question, what do you guys think about the the YouTube channel membership thing? I know I mentioned before, like right before the holiday, YouTube, amazingly enough, typically what they say is you can't have channel memberships until you get 30,000 subscribers. I'm not at 30,000, around the 24,000 mark, maybe the 23,000 mark. They turned it on, which was awesome. And I haven't really promoted it that much, but what do you guys think? I mean, are channel memberships something that you guys think is cool? Do you think it's annoying, for a tuber to be saying, hey, support the channel, become a member? I'm curious what you guys think about it. Yeah, old Johnny Rose says, if I could afford it, I would. Well, it's the lowest level is $199 a month. No, but I get it. I also understand that most of us are financially ruined through this, right? So, having any type of funds to do anything is really, really tough. Tim says 24,000 or 24.9K listed on the page now. Yeah, I'm at, if I look at it in the back end, that ain't the back end. Let me click here. I can tell you what the real number is. The real number is 24,938. So yeah, slowly getting there. So let's see. Oh, that's a good topic. Brittany Bruce says, how to learn to trust again and not second guess yourself. Excellent idea. I have made videos on that in the past, but I need to redo that. I like Divorce. Divorce Papa says, I like the extras of the membership. I figured I could squeeze the $2 a month out. When do you get your YouTube button? If you're talking about the play button, you don't get a play button until you get 100,000 subscribers, and then it's 1 million. So at the trajectory I'm going, in the next 12 years, I might make 100,000. But yeah, Divorce Papa. Plus, with the membership, you get the boop. Oh, that's true. Tim says 13, and you could round up to 25K. Good point. Oh, geez. Lyle says the money can't buy happiness, but it can keep the IRS from putting me in jail. Guys, and I'll make a video on this later, probably more after April. One of the fears I've had is the tax thing. But I'm not really going to go into detail on that until later. We can mount the play button on the gravestone. Thanks, Tim. All right, guys, I am going to wrap this up. I did not actually intend on going for an hour. Yeah, let's see. So I'm going to be trying to refocus my efforts on what I'm doing or where I'm focusing my energy. I spent the first 3 years of this channel busting my butt, making videos every second I could. If I could spare or pull away, take a moment to shoot a topic, photo or video a topic, I would. I got to be a little bit more deliberate on what I'm doing to provide better content and value for you guys, and to try to help or try to find a way to really grow this thing. Some of the other things I'm planning on doing on top of the Dad Talk today, I'm actually getting ready to start another show with a friend of mine, not on this topic, completely on cameras. Actually, it's going to be I think the show might be called Cameras and Coffee, where it's going to be talking about technology stuff and just some banter. So something a little less serious, a little bit more fun. Some of you guys may be interested in that. I might promote it. Might let some of you guys know if you're interested. I don't know if it's good. I mean, obviously it's a different audience, but I'm just looking for some different things to work on, and hopefully grow and stuff and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, Tim says my ex misfiled taxes 2 years ago. I know where you are on that junk. I don't know if you're talking to me or someone else, but yeah, that's partly. I'm going to be cautious on what I say. So on that, guys, hey, thanks for hanging out. Watch out for the Dad Talk Today show. The other thing I would say, if you go over to my Facebook, Dwayne Robert on Facebook, you can find the replay for that show there. I think I shared it over there. Check it out. I think it was a really great discussion. I'm excited about what Eric's doing. I'm excited about what I hopefully can bring to their platform and hopefully help some other extra people out, and have another avenue to try to get this message out. Like I mentioned earlier, if I could find a way to get to people earlier in the process, the amount of grief I think that they could save themselves is not insignificant. Anyways, Lyle says that blue light is a write-off, and it was, Lyle. I wrote off a lot. I think since I'm taking a continuous loss, this was the last year I'm going to be able to write off the channel, which is kind of a bummer, but oh well. Anyways, on that, guys, hey, thanks for the support. Thanks for hanging out. I know a few people are bailing out, so the numbers are dwindling, but thank you so very much. I really appreciate you guys hanging out, supporting me, the memberships, doing that, even if it's, even a couple bucks helps keep the lights on. Maybe next time the blue light will actually stay on. All right, guys, have a great night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.